Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. If you're doing Kwanzaa, this is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. I'm here to bring in a little bit of extra push to get you into 2026. And tonight we went to Tuesday night instead of Thursday night because Thursday night is Christmas, and I want you to be able to enjoy yourself. And it's my last day off for the year. Christmas, we got closed on Christmas Day, so I want to stop in. And if you can't see it now, come back later when you get some comfortable time and just catch up. I'm going to do roll call for our members for 2025. Hopefully, you'll stay with me and we can continue to grow the channel. And here we go. Here's our members. These are people who paid into it and been monthly members starting at a minimum of $2.99 and more, okay, according to what their needs are. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for our paying members, and also thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. Barbara Gary, Miss T from the SIP, Blessings, Donna Marshall, Shamira Customs, Constance Clemens, C.W. Wardrobe, Miriam Masterpieces, Yana Hodgepodge, Jackie Gurley, Yvette Batcham, Laura Farr, Sonia Harding, Linda Brown, Brenda Stepney, Florence Bayaball, Persani, Kim, Alice Sandra Barnhart, Newly Fine Designs Company, Vanessa Parnell, Sassy Rebel, Miss Kathy, Linda C. Payne, Jacayla Jones, Ngozi DeBerry, Logan Style, Cynthia Brewer, Vet McCrae, Foreign Grace, Renee Hudden, Shelley Neal, Tatwina Gilder, Patricia, 1546, Gwendolyn Member Starbs, Yolanda Thomas, Awanda Brown, Rhonda Marie Blessings, Liz Wilson, Mary Jones, Cha Cha, Cindis Bohemian, Lear Lean Rockingham, Sweet Tea, Soul Pearl Creations, Bernice Thompson, Valerie Lingo, Mona Lisa, Lumen Laser, Michelle Stringer, Lay Neal, Garden Oz, Garden of Zig. And this is MRA and LA59 Pink Pizzazz. I'm going to give another two names because I don't think that they actually put their names in correctly. I think they just used some of their last initials, and that's Maddie Mitchell and Mildred Braxton. I want to make sure I get those two names in. If you're coming on for the first time, my name is Evelyn of Evelyn's Creations. Built a empire with sewing on a Walmart sewing machine, and I want to encourage you all to sow into your gift. And tonight, I want to give you that. This is the next to the last nudge for 2025. So next week, I'm going to give you another nudge. I really just really want you to find 10 minutes. If you are busy and you are dealing with life situations right now, I want you to say, can I find 10 minutes to even think about what I can do to make my life better? You may have to find it in the shower. You may have to find it on the toilet. You may have to find it in the closet, or you may have to even find it in a car. Just find some time that you can write out the things that you want to do, the things that you want to achieve. And then let's build this strategy. Tonight our topic is, what is your specialty? Okay, what is your specialty? Now, many of you have bought the sample packages of treasures to make a quilt or just to get some ideas. The purpose for that was not to give you everything a perfect size and not to give you everything that you can say, well, I can make this or I can make that, or it was to challenge you. It was to challenge you to make something out of, you don't have any idea what you're getting. You don't know the colors, you don't know the sizes. It was to stimulate your creativity. And the reason for that is because I want everybody that's going through this boot camp to learn how to sew without a pattern. Okay. When you learn how to sew without a pattern, you are going to be unstoppable. I mean, unstoppable. When I say unstoppable, unstoppable, there's not going to be an end to your wealth. Okay. So I really, really just want you to say, can I give myself 10 minutes? I mean, really, can you give yourself 10 minutes? If you can give yourself 10 minutes, then you are going to be able to just have endless possibilities. Okay. It's endless possibilities. So, we all started with, this lady is stimulating me. Why am I hooked to her channel? What is she doing to get me to give her attention? And why is she worth me buying a membership? And you all said, because she's pushing me. She's getting in my head. She's making me think outside the box. I want, if you're here now, I know some people are gonna be popping in because this is not our usual time. I also ask you, if you did something with your skill set, were you able to pay one of your bills with it? That was the challenge from last week. If you're sewing, if you're crocheting, if you're knitting, if you're doing all alterations, were you able to take your skill set, the wages from what you made, and pay one of your smallest bills? It could be your water bill, it could be um, somebody doing your lawn, it could be buying some things that helps cleaning around the house. Like if you would have regular charged was those funds there for you to be able to pay that bill? Okay. Now most people that teach and talk about sewing, they don't really teach you how to pay bills. Okay, you know how to sew, but what's the purpose of knowing how to sew if you're not going to accomplish anything? I mean, really? I mean, really? Are you going to buy all this fabric, have all these sewing machines? You're going to have this room set up that looks like it's a museum with things and hangers and all this stuff, and you're not paying any bills. Sewing is therapeutic in its energy. It's what you give a part of you to someone that helps them along the way. It's like somebody made this for me. Somebody made this make me feel better. So tonight is, what is your specialty? Now that doesn't mean that you only do your specialty. I want to make that very clear tonight, because the boot camp is to get you outside of the box. It's to get you to think survival. What if they took my job away? What if my spouse left me? What if, like for instance, my cousin just lost his house 2 nights ago in a fire. A fire burned in his wall. Some electrical happened in his wall. We're approximately the same age. I'm a fashion designer. He's a builder. He built houses. So I talked to him today and I said, you know what? He was down and out. I said, you know what? You made it out the fire, babe. He said, but I don't know if I'm gonna rebuild. I said, of course you're gonna rebuild. Do you think God gave you that gift and you're gonna sit on it and you're not gonna build your house back? I said, we're gonna build back better, right? He said, because I said, no, we're gonna build back better. You got the skill set. My father trained him how to build houses, and he just lost his house. I said, you don't have to do it. You got the skill set. You can watch them build your house. So what we got to do is find the funding, because we're going to build it back better than what it was. And he was like, well, I don't understand it. I don't see that. I says, listen, you draw your house out and you got the skill set, and we're going to make a plan on how we're going to get your house back than what it is. Just draw your house out. Just draw your house the way you want it to be. You want extra bedrooms? You want to switch it around? Just draw your house out. And I'm saying it to say that to you. My father's deceased. My father was a construction worker. He was an awesome craftsman. And he told me when I was trying to figure out how to do something, he said, don't worry about what it costs. Because if you worry about what it costs, you'll never do it. You figure out what you want and you go for it and you do it. That's what the boot camp is all about. Okay, you're sewing into me. I'm going to provide a boot camp and you own the boot camp so you can know how to get to the next level. I got so many people now giving me success stories. Now, I was going to do a video about all the great ideas that people are sending me that they're doing, that they're getting money and they're getting tips. I'm going to wait to that to be at the end of the year so I can show them all up and do like a slide and show you so you can get inspired even more. You can look at what other people are doing to make it happen. But I'm getting so many of them. I said, let me just make a little slideshow that I could show you and then put their names on it. Excuse me, and tell you how they're doing it and what they're doing. Because if you do your skill set, you're gonna get gratuity. Gratuity is when you go beyond what that customer expects and you don't even ask for it and they just graciously give it to you. So that's why I asked you to start with the pillows. If you make a nice pillow, it will make a sale after sale after sale. In fact, I had to stop because I had to do some other work this week. And every pillow that I made this week, I sold it. I mean, I could, some of the pillows, most of the pillows, I didn't get a chance to take a picture because they was like, I got to go. I got to take this pillow. I got to go. You know what I mean? So if you don't know what this, the first thing that you should say that is your specialty is I can sew a straight line. If you're in the part of this group that sews, no, now we got different people in the group: the crocheters, the quilters, the painters, the artists. So it's not just for people that sew. This whole boot camp is for people who work with their hands and bring it to life. And it's not, and we're learning not to be afraid to ask for the sale. Correct? Because some of you have told me, I do it, but I don't know how to ask for the sale. I don't know how to go. I don't know what I should do to get the money. And the first thing you do is you ask for the sale. Okay, you have to ask for the sale. Tonight, I'm a little late because they closed the mall late. So they extended our hour. So I had to wait till the store got clear before I could come on. But today, if you got a chance to look at some of the videos I did, I was uploading a lot today. And I was giving you live coverage of what people experience when they come into my store. Okay, if you're on here for the first time, I'm an international designer. I sew. I am a professional sewer, designer, fashionist, tailor, whatever you want to call me. I can make it happen. Today, on my list of things to do was to make pet clothing. I got these 2 dogs that eat a lot, so I make pet clothing to pay for their dog food. All right. So I got some orders for some pet clothing. And actually their orders was from people that live not even 20 minutes from the store. They ordered online for pet clothing. But when I was making the pet clothing, I got interrupted with someone who was having a crisis that just flew in from California and their daughter was getting married in 3 days. And so they came in and I didn't even know her. She had never seen me before. She found me on Google and she came into the store and she was just checking me out. And she asked me for a broom. And I said, you want a broom? She said, yeah, I want a broom. So I sell brooms. I sell bridal brooms. And I thought maybe she just saw it on the website and she just wanted to get one that I hadn't made and she wanted to do it herself. So I said, well, you can go up the store. They have some that's, I didn't know that she wanted a broom for a wedding. She just asked for a broom. So I was just saying, maybe you just want a little small broom. So finally, long story short, she told me her daughter's getting married. So, and I said, well, I do make brooms. I said, I can just show you what I make. And then if you want it, fine. If you don't, fine. So one thing led to another. I showed her the broom. She was ecstatic. She loved the broom. She saved $20 because it costs a lot to ship the broom. And so the broom led to a dress. The dress was $250. That dress led to another dress. It was $150. Then that dress led to a bag that was $145, and that bag led to a jacket that I make that was $95, and then it led to another shawl that I make, and that was $139, and then it led to a wrap dress that I make. And so she said, "Can you fix my daughter's wedding dress?" I said, "What?" She said, "I got one more problem." So anyway, long story short, I fixed the dress. She brought the dress in. I redid the dress, fixed the dress, charged her $65 to fix her dress. She says, "Oh my God, you only charged me $65?" I said, "It really wasn't that difficult." So I made the dress. I did the dress. Long story short, she spent about $1,500 and she gave me a $125 tip. And I'm saying that to say that if you can sew a straight line, that could be you. And the things that she bought, half of them I had made and half of them I didn't make. Half of them I got samples when I bought my fabric and I just bought that outfit. And then I sold her the outfits and they were easy to adjust. So what I'm saying to say that if you can sew a straight line and you can generate income and you know the potential base of what your clientele may like, don't try to make all your money just from what you sell or what you make. Make it for things that other people may like in your circle. Like if you make dresses and you make great dresses, can you really make $1,000 in a day making a dress? I mean, with interruptions, like the store, everybody's coming in and out. I'm trying to make sure people are safe. That's my big thing. It's not, I don't want anybody to come in and sue me that they fell on something or fell on a bag or something. So we have to be careful when we're in buildings that people don't come in and try to hurt themselves, because most of the attorneys are advertising, we can get you all this money if you hurt yourself. Okay. So that's one of our big pet peeves as business owners, is that we don't want anyone to hurt themselves. So what I'm saying to say is that if you have a strategy or a skill set that can sew a straight line, you have endless possibilities to make wealth. Where the boot comes in is that you have to stay in it. Like you got to be consistent. Like I told you, your sewing machine should never be off. When I say off, I mean unplugged. It should be turned off when you're not using it, but it should always be set up so you're ready to make it. So if you only got just enough room for your sewing machine, if your house or your space is just that much, you have endless opportunities of making wealth. You can make something, you can put it on a door. Someone says they was trying to find a place to take pictures. What color is your bathroom door? Okay. If your bathroom door is a color that doesn't go with it, then I would suggest go to the dollar store and get some solid, just a roll of solid wallpaper. You can get wallpaper that might look like a brick, wallpaper that might be white. The best things is white. The best things is white. But you can do stones, or you can just do anything that whatever you put on that wall will pop. If you making hats, then maybe you can put it, if you got a mannequin. And if you're one of the members, especially the members, if you're one of the members and you need to know where you can get racks, hats, or mannequins for the heads, if you don't have accounts, I can order some things for you and send it to you, because I really, really want you to make it. If you need a mannequin head, if you need to know what a rack is, you need those basic. If you need to know, you need a mannequin, just a half mannequin. It doesn't have to be really fancy to make money. If you need a jewelry board, if you make jewelry, people are buying jewelry. They're buying chunky jewelry. You don't need a lot of stuff to make a picture, but you need to really know how to focus that picture. You need to know what angles. You need to touch the picture. Touch the item. You need to take the front, the back, the side. You need to take at an angle. And if you got one of these smartphones, there's a button on it that it'll switch the picture around and show it on the left side, and it'll switch it around, it'll show it on the right side. You need a minimum of 10 pictures. And then you need 3 more pictures interacting with the picture, like having it on a mannequin or having it on a hanger or having your hand touch it. The key to making it is your hands on it. Now I'm finna hurt somebody's feelings and take it with love. There's a monster out there. Ah! That monster is AI. AI fooling people, y'all. Put yourself on that outfit. Don't look at AI. AI is taking your information. Use it when you in this handmade business, make it. AI can't do hands. AI mess up the hands. The hands be all crooked, okay? If you're going to make it today, everybody is going to AI to make stuff look perfect. And when you make that, if you get something that look perfect and you show that picture of it's perfect, and when you make that handmade item, guess what the person going to say? They're going to say it didn't look like the picture. So don't make the mistake of using AI and then think your picture is going to look like that. AI is just a picture. It's like swoop, 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 swoop. And if you do it again, AI don't have a memory. If you put something in for AI and then you come back and ask AI to do that same picture, I want you to try it. Don't believe me, try it. When you go back, say you do something AI and then tomorrow you say, I want you to fix me in this picture. AI gonna come back with a different picture. If you take a picture yourself and you put it in AI, and then it'll look at the picture and it'll change your face. It'll change your eyes, it'll change your nose, it'll change the AI can't remember. But when you put it out there that you can make this item and it's an AI item, when you do it and you put it up to AI gonna look better than your item. And it's gonna look better because it's what I said last week, is artificial. Okay? So we gotta fight AI. We gotta fight AI to make sure that when we make something, that it looks handmade. Okay? If you make something and it might have, like I just remember I told you I make something every night. I made this in 20 minutes. And if you got a string hanging, it's okay. It was handmade. Cut it off. Okay? And when you send it out and you say, listen, this was handmade. If you see anything, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now see what I have on right now? If this was AI, it'll be perfect. It wouldn't show this. Okay, it wouldn't show this. It would be tight, it'll be perfect, it'll be fitted, and it'll look like this. It'll look like this. And this is what happens when the guys come into the store and they see these pants on this AI guy, and the pants is straight. And when I make them straight, I charge them more because they can't sit down in the pants and they can't put their foot. If they got big feet, because guys now got size 14 feet. If they can't get their feet through the bottom of the leg, then they be like, can you fix it for me? I said, yeah, that's going to be another $20 because they're looking at AI. So what I challenge all of you to do is when you make it, don't try to be as perfect. If I'm not saying don't use AI as an example. I want to be clear about that. But make sure you use it as a grain of salt, because it's not going to look like that, and your clients is going to hold you to the fire that they want it just like the picture. And that's impossible because AI don't have wrinkles in the neck. Okay? They don't have where you've been up all night sewing. All right? They don't, look at your hands and look at your arms. You're going to find a little burn spot, some little spot that's not perfect. So when you make your garments, You have to make sure that when you put in your description that this is handmade, you don't have to put all this is handmade with love. If you hand make it, it's automatic with love. But you got to make sure when you're selling your items to your clients that your items understand. And when they come in and buy it, because their bodies are not perfect. Like the young lady that came in tonight, she was a size 2, but I still told her, you got to put on a Spanx, sweetheart. This is your wedding. Don't go out there with that G-string that you got on the night. Don't just go in your wedding dress with that on. You put on a Spanx so your stomach, because you could be a 2 and still look pregnant. So her mom was right there. I said, don't have me doing this if you're not going to wear the right undergarment. Because see, she looking at this dress and it's on this mannequin and she thinking she going to look like the mannequin. So when she put on the dress, I said, see, you can't wear this without undergarment. You're going to get your hair, your nails, your toes done, and you're not going to wear no underwear. No. You with the wrong one. So when you make your garments so that you get the sale. Make your garments with a degree of imperfection, meaning that it was made. Okay, see this right here? Now, if I was selling this, I just made this quickly, right? Look at my shirt, right? See the design right here? Right here? I made this quickly, but if I was selling this, I would take my time. Let's see, I'm doing this on the opposite side. I will take my time and make sure that this middle piece is about the same amount. See how one side has it's a little bit wider than the other side. I know you see what I'm talking about. But anyway, if I was selling this, I'm gonna wear this to work tomorrow. I just made this nice. So I'm gonna wear this to work tomorrow. So it's okay. It's just a sample. Now, when I wear this tomorrow, somebody gonna want to buy this. They're not gonna see what I see. They're not gonna see that this line over here is not as wide as this over here, the border on this side, right? I see that because I'm an eyeballer. A person will buy it and they wouldn't care. But if I was making this to scale to sell it in the store, I will make sure this is even. That's a great honest imperfection. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop anybody from wanting to buy it. I made myself a little wrap skirt. I made myself a little wrap skirt to go with this. Got on my, Michelle Obama always wore her belts real high. I put on one of the belts from the store. But that's where your real waist is. But if I was to sell it, I would want to make sure that it was as perfect as possible, but not completely perfect that you can't know that somebody's made it and sew it. Because when you buy your clothes for comfort. You don't buy your clothes to look like the picture, right? So when you're making your pillows, you can do some very high-end pillows. Okay, you can do some, like I say, I sell $100 pillows and $200 pillows. Right now, I want you to work on speed, productivity, and sales. Speed is, can you sew a straight line in less than a minute? Like the width of this laptop, might be 20, 25 inches, 30 inches. Can you sew 25 inches within a minute? Everybody raise your hand. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. 25 more minutes. It don't take 4 minutes to sew three sides and a half. Here. Okay. Then you use that part to put a stuff in. And if you like Maryland, you put a zipper in it if they ask for it. Then you can, when you finish your pillow, you got one or two ways. You can do a real small slip stitch so you don't even see it. Or you can take it, pinch it, you can whip it, or you can take it, push it, and push the foam back real fast, or you can sew it down. A small little teeny zigzag stitch back and forth to close it up. Well, when a person buys a pillow, unless they're really trying to buy a very expensive pillow, they basically look at how nice the pillow is, if the corners are done, and if it's full. They like it first by the color, by the look of the pillow. Then they like it if the corners are filled. Then they like it if it's full. Okay? So those are the three things that sell the pillow. If you take this seriously, you can make a lot of money just making pillows. And that may not be your specialty. What I want you to do in the boot camp section is I want you to make money. I don't care if you don't even love pillows. Or if I love my pet. I don't really love making pet clothes. I'm not make When I make the pet clothes, I'm just making the pet bandanas. I'm not making no sleeves and all that. I'm making the pet bandana. Hey, this is Joey or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm making something they could tie on. It's not a fastener, it's not a snap. It's just a little bit of fabric that I have left, about the size of my hand, add 2 strings on it, and they could tie the pet collar on. Those pet collars take me maybe 3 minutes to make $15. Okay. Now, what I normally do when they buy one, because they take me such little time, I always throw 2 in there. And it always get me a 5-star review, and it always get me a repeat sale. And then I just upload more. And I always say I can make 50 or I make 20 because they take so little bit of time. So what I want you to know is I really don't want you to come into the course if you just want to know how to sew. I want you to come into the boot camp. I want you to follow me. I want you to learn from me because you want to make some money. I want you to not only want to make some money, I want you to deposit the money, get the money, put it in the bank, and pay some bills. And then go on a vacation. Go and get some R&R, go and go on a trip and reap the benefits of your labor, because there are few creators. I mean, we're becoming extinct. And the ones that are creating, you don't like people because they get on your nerve, right? Well, that's where you get in the boot camp or you get into the coaching and you learn how to find your customers that are not in your space. Because at the end of the day, somebody wants what you have. Somebody need your skill set. There's not enough of us to help everyone. That's why I really, 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 if you're watching me and you don't even know how to sew, you can learn how to thread a needle at any age. You can sew on a button. You can hem some pants, and you can give a service. People can pick up. They can drop off and pick up at a point where you can get your product. When I say product, meaning that if somebody said they want a skirt hem, and you say, okay, drop your orders off. They're taking Uber or deliveries. They're doing all kind of stuff. They can they can have their stuff dropped off, tell you where they want to hem, you do it, and then they pick it back up. So or you can, if you have an office or space that you wouldn't have it. Sometimes you may not want them at your house, but there are ways that you can make sales in your neighborhood. And there's a million of ways you can make sales if you go online. Think about this. Every business now has to sell online to survive. I'm talking about these big companies. They have to sell online. They have to sell online to survive because they may have products that's not moving and they're putting online so that people can see it. And when they see it, they buy it. And when you online, you just gotta, if you already have a card on file, you just hit click and they're gonna be sending it to you. So if they're doing it, why can't we do it? And if we do it, why can't we do it better? Why can't we do it better? Because if you look at the last video that came up tonight, the last lady that left the store from California, she said, not only did she give good service, not only did I read her reviews before I came to her store, I will be back in person and online. I will be back in person and online. And she's going to be watching this video tomorrow sometimes. Because I told her, go check us out. We for real. I said, this what you're doing for me is going to be a blessing that I can tell the clients that I have online how they can do it too. I can't take this to the grave because I wake up and come back and tell you how to do it. We got to do this thing, guys. I just want you to know, I'm so proud of you. The people that are sending me the information, what you're doing. I mean, I got to tell this story. I got to tell this quick story. And I'm going to show you her picture of her work. She did some nice little things for her school. Some nice little, she said earplugs or earbobs or earfogs, phone fogs. I'm not sure the name. I'm messing it up, but I'm going to say it again after this. After Christmas, I'm going to show you the picture. She did these, and they so cute, and they so small. And the order was $30, and she got a $75 tip. Can't you do that? Now, can't you do that? People are selling pillows and getting tips. People are getting orders and hadn't even made the pillows. Don't that feel good? People been watching me for months and say, "You got me. I give up. I'm coming." That's what I want, because life is going to get better when you work with what? Your gift. Life is going to get better when you work with your gift. What is your specialty? That's the title for tonight. What is your specialty? Can you show it? Can you sew a straight line? Listen, everything that I give you, use me. My boot camp coach told me to do this. So I have to make a sale. So make the sale. Use me to pay your bills. Use my ideas to get motivated. Learn, take action, sell, repeat. Learn from me, take action, sell, and repeat. Sell over and over and over, just like everybody else do. You know, we get our feelings hurt. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something. I have to actually right now, because the people online that I sew from, because I worked so many years all over the world advertising my wares, and they are finding me over and over and over, and they're not asking me for a lot of detailed things. They're asking me for the things that I just sell online, right? So the online is getting so busy that this year I will have to only do African prom dresses. I won't do dresses that are not like the pictures that they see that are AI. I won't do that anymore. I have to cut that off, because it's so hard to convince them that it's not a person, and they're not that shape, and they're not that size. So I told my management, that the managers that work here, to tell the young ladies that this year I will only do the dresses if they are getting Afrocentric dresses made, because I will lose too much money selling my online items that I custom make myself. Because if I make, I'm gonna say it like this. See this piece of fabric right here? This piece of fabric right here. Now, if I just took this is heavy. This is 6 yard. But if I just took this and make shawls, you know, it's not the most exciting thing to do. But if I took this and make shawls, and it could be a shawl, it could be a table runner, it could be a scarf, it could be a tie, bow tie. But if I just took this fabric right here and I just made something that was a straight line, like I made a guy a scarf, a hat, a bow tie, and a pocket square out of some really nice crisp fabric, it was almost like a bridal satin, but it was burgundy. And it took me maybe 20 minutes to make $100. The scarf was just straight, it was about 60 inches long, 4 inches wide. And the scarves, when I make those, I pleated them in the back. So when the guys wear the stoles over their shoulder, that it's not riding up their back. That's a good idea. If you make scarves, like if you make any type of scarf for clergy or graduation, right now, start making your graduation scarves. If you embroidery, start making your samples, class of 2026. If you know the school's colors in your area, start making the scarves. Everybody is graduating every year. There's a new group. If you know the kindergartens, the daycare centers, and they have a graduation class coming out, find out what their colors are, make those scarves, let them know early, so the parents will order the scarves from the school will pay you. A lot of people have daycare centers, and they like their kids to graduate from kindergarten to the next grade. They like your high school, your middle school, your colleges, all those going to need graduation scarves. Why can't it be you? Okay, the way you get that business is you let them know right now, I have graduation stoles. And then you say, look, if you get one order, or if you get 100 orders, that's extra money that don't take any time. And then if you customize it, then that's more money. And if you don't customize it, find somebody that does. And all you have to do, if you don't do embroidery, you can get it embroidered on a piece of fabric, and then you can come back and sew the fabric on the scarf. You can put their name on one side and their high school, and you can put their graduation class of 2025. That's if you don't embroidery. You can have that already farmed out and you put it on the scarf. They might charge you $2 or $3 to do each one, or even if it's $5 to do each one, and then you do the cost of the scarf. So, but that's only a straight line. Remember that, right? That's only a straight line. So clergy, Easter, your pastors, your pastor birthdays. Some people like today, someone ordered a pillow for the bishop and said when he sits down, I want him to have a pillow in the back of the chair so he can sit down and have the pillow for the bishop. I never thought of bishop pillows. She said, I want you to embroider bishop on it, and I want you to make the pillow. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, it won't be tomorrow because I'm not gonna stop for one pillow right now, but she can get it before the end of the year. But what I'm saying to say that is if I focus on trying to make, even if the dress costs $1,000, there's a lady that's 2 doors down from me that sell prom dresses for $1,600. There's another lady that's 3 doors down that sell prom dresses for $2,500. I normally sell dresses for anywhere from 4, 6, and 7. I won't go over $700 for a prom dress. I just don't feel like it doesn't have to cost that much. Okay. But I cannot even afford to do a $700 prom dress because the online business is really good. I can't keep up. I'm behind right now because I really make sure it's quality. And if I ever put a sale online, this is how you get behind online. Say like you haven't made any sales, and you say, "Oh man, I haven't made a sale." And then next thing you do, you say, "I'm gonna put a sale on my online store." You haven't made any sales, and you put a sale on your online store. Well, if you put a sale on your online store and people get paid on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they will be buying usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Because when they go to work, a lot of people shop while they're at work online on their phone. Okay. So if you put a sale on your website, excuse me, you don't have any control on your sales. So you may not be having no sales for 2 days. And then the next day, your sales is like, woo. And you're like, oh my God, which one I could do first? Let me do the simple ones. And then let me work on the hard ones. And let me contact those that I might, because you don't know. That's the unknown about being online. You have no idea. And it doesn't matter the season. That's why I was telling you about the coaching. If you can get the coaching, try it. So I'm just telling you, don't leave money on the table. If you can get some coaching, and once you get your business name and your tax ID, the basic stuff ready, then we start helping you get the things on your site. But some people can't even get on the site because when they tell a friend, they're already getting orders and they haven't even started the site because they're getting orders. They're getting orders from your phone is your first line of cash flow. Because if you're telling people, just say, hey, I got pillows. Hey, I got this. They're going to start buying. They want it before somebody see it online. All right. So back to what I'm saying, when you put a sale on, because you say, oh, I ain't made a sale. I usually make a sale every single day or multiple sales every single day. But if it's like a day and a half and I haven't made a sale, I'm like, oh man, let me see what I could put on sale. So I'll see what hasn't been moving and I'll put it on sale and bam. Then somebody like, they done got poked. The algorithm will say, hey, she got a sale. And then you say, oh man, they got a sale. Then they'll say, can you make it in my size? And I'll say, yes. And next thing you know, the thing just start going off the chain. They just start selling. And you'll say, ah. So now tonight when I get home, I got to cook some fabric. I'm going to go home. I'll let y'all know when I get home tonight, I'm finna put some pots on the stove. I'm finna boil my water. And I gotta dye these fabrics. Then I'm going to put them in the dryer. Then I'm going to come tomorrow. I'm going to paint them and I can get them out after Christmas, right? So some things ain't sold a long time. I put it on sale and man, there it goes. So it's like, be careful what you ask for, right? You ask for some sales, here you go. Bam, do it. And then somebody walk in the store, they want to buy something and you're like, can you get her? Can you get him? And you know, fine. But anyway, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you meet your financial goals. I'm here to make you feel like you are in the military camp of sewing sensation, art sensation, quilt sensation, embroidery sensation, crochet, whatever your skill set is, I'm here to help you find your niche and do it. Like, do it. Like, just do it. Just go in and say, hey, and don't be afraid and build your inventory up. I saw Marion's got them pillows lined up. And now what I want you to do when you get those pillows, what I want you to do, if you look at the one I did last night with the gentleman last night that's going with all these bags, I started putting some nice vinyl that looked like alligator skin on the back, because he's a bachelor. He just got his own little place going on by himself, right? So I wanted his house not to look like it was a woman in it. I wanted the house to look masculine. So I'm like, okay, Russell, here you go. Boom, boom, boom. And then he couldn't resist. He said, I can't leave him. He said, in fact, I love him so much. I'm gonna carry these pillows with me to my mama's house in Indiana. And I said, well, you know what's gonna happen? He said, yeah, I'm gonna have to come back for some more because my mama gonna have me to keep him there. So that's what I want you to experience. Every single person that see that you make something with in your hands, even if it look like they don't have the money, they're gonna tip you or they're gonna tell somebody. They're gonna share it. So I don't want to be the only one making sales. I want you to be making sales, and you can do it. And pay those bills. Remember the envelope that come in that look like it's friendly, and it's got a little window in it, and it's got your name on it. And you go, oh, I don't want to open that bill like the light bill due tomorrow. Take those sales and make those bills. And when you make those bills, just say, thank you, God. Okay, thank you, God. If you need a sale tonight, first of all, if you need a sale, you got to have already done something for the sale, meaning that you have already got to have committed to making something. There's something that you already have made that you can sell. Okay? Whether it's a pillow, whether it's a lampshade, whether it's a napkin, whether it's a lap napkin. You know, a lot of ladies still like those lap napkins. Put those napkins on their lap and put some lace around it. If it's a flat piece of fabric that you can do a head wrap with it. If it's something, if you make little girls' bows, guess what? That little girl bow can be a man's bow tie. Okay? Think outside the box. Build your inventory up. And it could be something that you don't normally do, like pet clothing. Okay? Take the scarf and put it on there, and just put it on there. And then this is the thing. If you got to borrow somebody's pet and say, hey, can you just take a picture with your pet with this scarf on? All you need is one. You need a dog. Because what happens is when you put stuff online, if you can do at least 9 seconds with it moving with a real person, even if it's your hands, that's going to make the sale. The natural mind wants to see real things happening. Now, a lot of our generation now, they are getting so used to AI that they can't tell the AI from a real person. But if you start putting your stuff, this is how we fight back. If you start putting your stuff out and you got a hand and you showing it on and you showing natural wrinkles, then you're going to start seeing that your sales going to go up. Because people are going to realize, okay, that looks like what my mom would wear, or that looks like what my aunt would wear. I'm going to get that. Okay. Look at this. See how this look a little wrinkle? How that look a little wrinkle? You can tell there's a real person wearing this. Okay. AI can't do real. AI can only do cartoons. It can only look like a real pretty cartoon. And even my cousin, she said, girl, AI made me look so good. I didn't know who that was. And that's okay. It's okay to have fun with AI, but make sure that when you are selling, that you say this is authentic, that it is handmade, and I can make it in these sizes and these variations. Every person on the channel have a different set of sizes. So if you say, like, you make this shawl, you make this jacket, and you measure it out and you say, this is a large. So take the measurements and say this. Now see how this is? This can be closed or it could be open. I made this where it's open. All right. So when you take a picture of it and you send it, put it on your site, say if you take a picture of it with your cell phone or a model on it, then when they look at it, they're going to want to wear it the way the picture is. If the picture shows that the outfit is closed, and they put it on, then they're going to want it closed. But if you take your measurements and you say, this is a 44 bust, and this is how it's worn open, make sure you put on the how it's worn open. If the person wants it to be closed, then they're going to say, I want a 46 bust or 48 bust. All right. So when you make your measurements, make the measurements according to what you like. So look at your t-shirts, look at your dresses, look at your shawls, and you can say, I like the way this look, so I'm going to have this as my size. Because if you go in the store, most of the sizes are different because each designer have their own size. That's why they went to large, extra large, 2X, 3X, 4X. Okay. So you can still name your sizes, those sizes, large, extra large, 2X, but also put your size chart. This is what my large is. This is what my length is. And like, I'm making something now. A lady ordered something online and she said, I really like that. Excuse me, but I'm 6'1". So I already know that what I make is not going to fit the same as a 6'1". So I'm automatically going to add 4 more inches in length. So it'll look the same way as a picture because the picture is showing it on a mannequin. It's not showing it on a person. And the mannequin is small. So I'm automatically, when she told me that she was 6'1", I'm going to compensate for that. Okay. So your homework is, again, to make sure we make some sales, even if it's not done. How do you make sales if it's not done? If you got some fabric, you lay it on top of that pillow and say, I'm making pillows this color. Would you like to buy one of my pillows for my boot camp class? Okay. If you're making jewelry, you can make the jewelry and you don't have to put the clasp on it. Make the jewelry, show the jewelry, tell how many inches it is. Okay. So like if you're making jewelry, excuse me, and you're making a necklace, the necklace is not the length of this, the pendant. The necklace is the length of the necklace. And then you tell them the pendant is 4 to 5 inches long, however the pendant is. So you tell how long is the pendant, and then you tell how long, what the width of the necklace is. And then the person will say, okay, I want, my neck is big, so I want it longer. Or can you make the pendant shorter? So try to answer all the questions. So when you make the sale, you don't have no returns or exchanges. And remember this, we want to work where we only exchange, not give cash refunds. The reason is because you will probably have a negative balance. And the reason I say that is if you, once you start making sales and you don't put your money out there and you're building your inventory up, I always suggest don't just let that money sit in there. Pay some bills. This is count right here is to pay some bills that I've already invested into this business. If you've invested into your sewing machine, your threads, your interfacing, your buttons, your zippers, don't let that money just sit there for somebody to come back and say, I want a refund. And then if you have your credit card on file, then they're going to take the money off your credit card. So the best thing to do is to write up your policy that you are giving exchanges only within 3 days. Because first of all, we're going to make sure we do a great job. Second of all, we're going to make sure that we have all the questions answered. And third of all, if we don't feel like, say if I sell a hat, I don't know if I'm selling a hat to a bald-headed person, a person with locks, or anything. I don't know if I'm selling anything like that. Okay. Excuse me for that. But I don't know that. So what I want to do, I may ask them, are you wearing locks? Are you wearing something that I need to know before I ship this? And then if you give yourself 3 or 4 days, make sure that that you ask them at the top of the order. Like, don't wait till the day before you ship it to say, hey, by the way, can you tell me what size hat you is? When you see that order comes in and you don't know what size that person is, then you can ask them, is this a standard size? A standard size is 23 inches. A large size is 24 inches. An extra large is 25, 26 inches. If people have braids or extensions, it makes the hat larger. So you want to make sure you have all those questions answered before you ship. And once you ship, then that's it. And then they have to actually pay to ship it back, and then you can exchange it for them, and you can charge them to ship it back also. So that's how you stay afloat. Because if you have $100 sale and they take $100 out, and then you done lost your shipping and everything else, that's when you get frustrated. And we want to eliminate as many problems as possible so that we can get the best results. And when you reinvest your money, that you're making money, you're moving forward. In other words, you're not moving back. So I'm going to start looking at some of your questions, because I know that we got a lot of stuff going on, and unfortunately, we have a lot of people that's being deported. It's so sad. In my state today, they asked all the bishops, all the Catholic bishops, asked our governor, could they stop deporting for Christmas, and our governor said no. So our whole state is in mourning, because Florida has a lot of people that are immigrants that have been here for over 20 years that can't get their citizenship. They have businesses. Their children are naturalized, meaning they're U.S. citizens, and their families are being deported. So we had a breakdown. Gentleman broke down today because his wife was deported, and it's just sad. And so we have to make sure that we got a little bit of extra right now. You know, you think we struggling? We ain't struggling till somebody take your spouse. We ain't struggling until your house burned down. You know what I mean? So your skill set can help with all of that. We can make our universe better by using our hands, by being an inspiration. Like, for instance, the gentleman tonight that had a breakdown, his wife was supposed to be deported back to Cuba, but they sent her to Dominican Republic. Well, Dominican Republic, if you're in Florida, you can go there without having to have a passport. You can go there and visit. Cuba, you have to have a lot of paperwork. I've been to both. When Obama was here, we could go just like we can go anywhere else, you know. So I've been to Cuba, so I know what it's like there. And so I just told him, I said, but look, you can go see her. But she's actually in a prison camp like a prisoner. And she was just working here. And it's just like 2 hours. It's just right there. But Cuba wouldn't take her back. So I'm saying this to say that there's a lot of stuff that can get us depressed, even if it's not us. But we can change it, because, you know, just think, if you made something with your hands and you saw somebody who was having a little problem, and you maybe was able to give them $20, or you maybe was able to take some time to say it's going to be all right, because you know your time is money, right? So if you was able to do that because you had made some money with your hands and you could afford to slow down and just bless somebody with your presence to say it's going to be all right. Because my house didn't burn down. My husband didn't get deported, but my cousin lost his house in a fire. So I got to be the person in my family to say, okay, let's help him get his house back together. Somebody may just want to be asked for help. Like, somebody may have the money to help, but they want you to ask them. Just like your business, you're doing your business and you're asking your customers for help. Do you like what I have? Would you help me by buying something? That's what we're doing, right? We're asking people to buy something to help us. And by them helping us, we get to control more of our life. We get to control our mindset. We get to control where we live, where we eat, what we buy. It makes us more aware where we spend our money, where we get assistance. Because, you know, right now, when I put all these videos out, right? The Walmart sister, guess who advertising? Guess who asking me for this and that? Walmart. Walmart's like, oh man, she's saying something good about Walmart. Because, you know, everybody always say something bad about Walmart. She's saying something good about Walmart. So Walmart is advertising, but you wait. I'm like fishing. I'm gonna throw that pole out there. I'm a reel them in. I'm talking to you, Walmart. I'm a reel them in, and I'm gonna say, what you gonna do for these people that's sewing? What you gonna do for these people that's look? Where you at? You got a Walmart. They got more. Do you need more fabric in your store? What you need in Walmart? Do we need to get more coupons? Do we need to get some? I'm gonna use my platform to save us, to help us. Can you get that pillow stuffing down to $25 to $35, $40? Can you get us some more cones like this? Can we get some more thread? Can we get more colors? You know, I'm gonna use my platform and I'm gonna talk. I have a young lady that I trained that is actually really high up in Bentonville, Arkansas. That I can start once I get enough people. I can start asking for stuff in those towns. So you in North Carolina, you in Virginia, you in somebody said I'm in Colorado, I'm in Hawaii. I don't have one in my area, but I can't ask for it if we don't have the demand for it, we can't get the supply for it. That's how big I think. Look, the man, Walmart, he was riding around in his plane with his dog called Old Roy. If you go into Walmart, they got dog food called Old Roy. He named the dog food after his dog. Okay. And so he just went around looking where he could put a store. And that's the same way you could do. You could be walking around, driving around. Where can I put me a store? I want you to think really big. If you're in your home, where can I put a store? Who can I get to work the store? Who could I help to run the store? Okay. Get the store, have a write-off for your store, and then you start selling and make some sales. And let's get our city back. Let's get our business back. Let's get our small business back. Let's make so much money that you got to say, okay, that's enough. Wouldn't that be great? I'm gonna read some questions because I know y'all got to go. All right, so let's look at what is happening out here and see what's going on. I know we got some new people because asking some questions. Miss Gwendolyn, Miss Gwendolyn, what you cooking tonight? Miss Gwendolyn, she be cooking when I be talking to her. I'm making something, girl. Miss Gwendolyn, what you cooking? Are you selling those things, Miss Gwendolyn? Okay, this is Imani Professional Development. She must be new. Miss Imani, if you're still on the line, she's asking, what is the boot camp is all about? Well, this whole channel is a boot camp. The boot camp is about how to go inside of yourself and make wealth and abundance. It's how to make a way out of no way. You'll hear me say that a lot of times. So I encourage you to go back and look at some of the videos. And if you need some private coaching, then excuse me, if you need some private coaching, then I will be gladly to coach you. Okay. And let's see what else we got here. It says, she asked when does it start? The boot camp is always ongoing. It's not like a start or stop. It's where you want to be with your business and how you want to make money. In other words, I'm not a typical instructor where I just show you how to sew and you just go and sew something. I am here for results. I'm here to help you get results, to make sure. I want to get some more light on me. For some reason, it's getting dark. I want you to get results. Okay. And that's what the boot camp is all about, is to get results. Let's see here. Miss Constance is saying, good evening. Someone says, you're talking about me. I'm talking about anybody who's having an issue. If I talk, like they say, how they say it in church, if I stepped on your toes, then that's a good thing, because that means you are there and you are listening. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Nina this online, and she says, hi, I'm glad I was able to come in on a live. I appreciate it. And this is not normal. Normally we on Thursday nights, but we're not tonight because we want to make sure that we give time to our family, because I work a lot and I need to just be home for a minute. I need to be home for a minute just to say, hey, I'm here, what we need to do. I mean, I'm home, but I need to be like unoccupied. How, when you got the grind going on. All right. Is there anybody else that have any questions? Look like everybody's saying hello, and I appreciate that. Let's see, can I find another question? A lot of hellos, a lot of good. Everybody's seem like we got a lot of people making money. That's really good. That is so good. So it looks like we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. So everybody, if you have gotten your quilts started, they don't have to be finished. If you got the treasure box and you started on making a quilt, then I really want you to show me that between now and the 27th. So on Monday, the last Monday of the year, I want to show up what everybody has made. If you need a treasure box, excuse me, of fabric, the number is 407 590 8767. Again, that's 407 590 8767. That's if you need to buy a box of treasures for fabrics. If you like to buy the book, it's called The Boot Camp: Create, Inspire, Get Paid. Create, Inspire, Learn, Create, Inspire, and Get Paid. It's a book that you would need for 2026 to grow your business, grow your wealth, see where you are. You can pre-order your book now. You'll get a signed copy and a great cheat sheet for it. Also, if you like some fabrics, I'm going to be doing a video on Christmas Eve of all the new fabrics that I have in stock. So if you like to order some fabrics, we'll have that for you too. Some people are asking about designs and different things. You have to get that through the coaching class. If you want to do some designs, if you want to do patterns, I am a designer that teaches you how not to use patterns, because I don't want to limit you that you got to have a certain amount of fabric to get the job done. And if that is no more questions, I want you guys to know how much I love you. I love being around creative people. I love being around people who really want to make a difference in the world. I love people who can use their brain to manifest whatever they want. And if you are in a financial situation tonight, listen really close. If you want coaching, ask, maybe you have to ask and say, if they want to buy your gift, can you help me with a coaching class? Okay. Um, if you just need some help financially, go to bed tonight. Like I said before you go to sleep, ask God for what you need. Say, Lord, I need $1,000. Lord, I need $5,000. Lord, I need help with my bills. Lord, can you just help me get through this storm? I want you to ask for it. And then before you hit the floor, when you wake up in the morning, your brain works while you are sleeping. Okay? Before you hit the floor in the morning, I want you to say, Lord, I thank you for what you've already done for me. And it's going to happen. Whatever you ask for, you're going to get. And while you're receiving what you ask for, be a blessing to somebody else. Not use, but be a blessing. Maybe say a kind word. Maybe offer some fruit. Maybe just tell them it's going to be okay. Okay? Because creative people have to be loving people. We have to be able to give, but we also have to be able to put a fence up so we can stay creative. In other words, it's a fine line. Don't be so involved that it consumes you that you can't be creative. But don't be so dull that you don't care. And then you'll see how you can bring out new things, how you can make new things, and then work on your skill set. So while you take that time to be with your family, your loved one, or reminisce about the person that's not there, that was there, that missing loved one, then start writing down 10 minutes a day what you want to accomplish. And before you know it, you get up and you sit at your machine or you get at your workstation and you get it done. Okay? Because in life, we all going to have a struggle with something. Some type of bill that you didn't expect going to come. Okay? So let's not let the finances stop us from being creative. Let's let the finances that we make from creativity give us the peace of mind. And I'm going to end with that. Like, subscribe, and share. This is the best channel on this side of heaven because you're learning something and you're learning how to make money and you're learning how to be positive. You're learning how to, You're learning how to get off the bench, okay? Because the soldiers had to do what? They had to dig the ditch. They had to get in the ditch. They had to shoot the enemy. It was kill or be killed, right? So it's like the bills gonna come in on you, or you gonna kill the bills. So we gonna be in boot camp all year. 2026 gonna be a great year for us. We gonna get it made. We gonna get it paid. We gonna be inspired. We gonna help others. We gonna grow our channel. We gonna make Walmart look to us and say, "What do y'all need?" And we gonna get it. And we gonna get it at the low. We're gonna get it at the low. So we'll have enough funds and we'll have enough threads and needles and pins that we can make things, and see that one up there while we're working on this one. See that one up there while we're working on this one. And we're going to sell. And everybody in the membership, I want you to give me your information, like where are you from? What are you working on? Okay? What are you from? What are you working on? What's your needs? Let me know how I can help you. If you got a need for needles, if you got a need for pens, if you got a need for threads, this is what I'm working on. This is what I need. This is what I make. This is my specialty. Give me like a one line. I sew this, I make this, I need that. And let's put it in the universe and let's get it. Okay, what are your goals? How much you want to make a week? How much you want to make a day? How much you want to make a year? All this is important in the book now. What do you want to make? How much money do you need? Do you need $100,000? Do you need $5,000? Do you need $100? Do you need $10? What is that you need? Think big and grow rich. Let's do it. Let's make this paper. Let's make it happen. Let's get pumped up. Let's get fired up and ready to go. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. Because every little thing you got can make money. Every little thing. Remember I showed you the rocks last week? Everything can make money. And it's not all about money. It's about being comfortable. Okay. I don't want the channel to be, oh, she always talking about money. I want you to know that money is oxygen. When you got it and you can pay your bills, you can breathe. If you sitting over there and you saying, man, I sure wish I had enough money to do this. We're going to make some money from our hands and we're going to sell it and we're going to pay our bills with it. And all the extra money that you have coming in right now, let that build up. And let this money come up and let this money do what you needed to do. And be serious about it. When you make your money, be serious about it. You make $10, okay, $2 going to go over here, $3 going to go over there. I had a little girl tonight. She said, Miss Evelyn, I made $3. I made this bracelet. I said, so what if you'd have made 10 bracelets? I said, take the $3, go get your supplies, and go make 10 bracelets. Okay, I will. She made bracelets with just little rubber bands. Sold them at school for $3. She's 9 years old. She learned entrepreneurship. You know I can go on forever. Anyway, love you all. Have a happy Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. I'm going to talk to you before New Year's. Send me your pictures. All my members, I need to know what your goals are. What are you doing? What you need help with? How much you need to make? Let's make our goals. Let's make our goals, okay? Love you all. Bye-bye.